Hello and welcome, beautiful collective. I am here today to bring you another channel message. I want to explain to you as well as I yawn, that as I yawn, this is how I am pulled up. The breath of air, the breath of life, which is air, oxygen, is what raises us into a higher state of acceptance and allowance, which is why we use the breath as a meditative state as well. It can pull you into those higher realms. And when I begin to channel, they pull me up by putting in oxygen, and I begin to yawn in order to bring me up into that higher energy for me to be able to channel with much more ease. So when I am done yawning, I will be able to begin the channeling with my Dragon Collective, who Shoshone is the spokesperson of this collective through me. That is the name that I have been given. Shoshone has been with me for quite so well, apparently for lifetimes is what I've been told, but I have always had an awareness of dragons, but of late I have found that the Dragon Collective have been becoming stronger and stronger. Oh, pardon me. Have been becoming stronger and stronger, and they have a message that really wants to be heard. I was given information as well that I wish to bring to you. I don't know if Shoshone is going to speak about this today within the channeling, but I am guided to speak about it now. And there are different forms of channeling as well. I can go more into a trance channel where I have no idea. I just begin to channel the collective. Or I can also go into a channel where they are feeding me information and I am relaying that information to you as a group as well. One is more of a trance-like stage than the other. They are both in some form of trance, but one is a little bit of a deeper trance than the other to bring through the complete voice. Within one, I speak more within my own mind, my own voice. Within the other trance, I more move aside and allow the collective to speak directly through me, to use my body and my voice to speak directly through me. I never lose control within any of the states that I am in, and I always have the ability to be able to come back into the center of myself again, to be able to align with my own soul and to bring that fully in. Okay? A lot of people really fear, I didn't know I was talking about this, but a lot of people really fear channeling and really fear people that channel because they're afraid of the energy that they bring through. And all energy, and this is going to sound, I might get some people that leave, but all energy is at the basis of love. Okay? We have many different levels of love. We have many different expressions of love. And everything is an expression of love and experience that we are having here. And just like when we talk about sometimes, tough love, as a parent, sometimes we have to, cut those ties and say, hey, you need to do this on your own. I can't be the one that's constantly bailing you out. If you have someone that in your life that is not taking care of themselves, is not getting a job, is basically, really taking the energy from you in whatever form that is, whether it be monetary, emotionally, physically, psychically, whatever that is, sometimes we have to cut that off. And that is still an act of love. In doing that, you are actively loving yourself, because within this journey, everything that we see is ourself. You are me and I am you. We are all a part of the one, the greater wholeness, and we have simply, for a better term, fragmented off into different bodies, and we are having different experiences. All of that information is going back to the one consciousness. So very similar to like you might have, for example, an electrical plant, and the electrical plant is giving off all of the electricity, but it is split up into, say, cities which then is your, possibly, you can look at that as your oversoul, and then into home, which can be your life, your body within this lifetime. Okay, so if you look at it that way, the splitting, the branching off of different things, but we all come from that one source. We are all energy. That's interesting how they want to use electricity for that. But we are all energy from the one source, the one higher power, the one consciousness. Okay. That is really fascinating how that is coming through. But we see things when they come into our world as being positive or negative, rather than looking at everything and observing things as an act of love. Okay? Because as soon as we put a label on that and we put that negative connotation towards something, we then see that as negative, and as we see that as negative, it begins to grow. Just like a snowball rolling down the hill, and it gathers more snow and becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay? That is what they are feeding to me with this today. So something that starts out as a small grain can really grow into something that is enormous. Okay? And that can go both ways. That can go into in the duality that we live in, that can go into what we consider to be darkness, the negative, and grow and grow and grow, so that we are having all of these negative experiences because that is what we are focusing on. Or we can move it into the positive, the light aspect, we'll say, and we can have and grow experiences through that we recognize everything as light, everything as love, and that those are all experiences then that we are having. Okay, so it is all about the perspective and how we view the perspective, the labels that we put upon those things as to what we have been taught of what is good and what is bad. Okay? And we have been taught that by society. We don't come in with that as a child. We know what feels good to us. Okay? We know that. We know when something hurts us and we go, ow, from the time we're a baby. We know that. We already know that. And as a child, we have a tendency to not do things that hurt us. Okay? We move towards the things that make us feel better, like a hug, eating good food. We know what feels good to us. We are taught, by words, by lineage, by what we have been told about what is a bad experience and what is a good experience. So as we grow and as we ascend more and more into the higher aspect of ourselves, we will begin to view things as much more of, they're saying a paradigm shift, which the paradigm shift is for you to be able to view things in a completely different way, that you see it as complete love rather than seeing it as a negative energy coming in. It is more of the wisdom that is drawn from that. You are seeing what you are being able to hold on to as part of that experience. And every experience that we have is both. It has all aspects within it. And whatever one that we experience or that we remember, that we recall, is what we are feeding. So if we are focused on something that is negative within our life, within that experience, that is what we will recall. If we focus on something that is extremely positive, that is what we will recall. And we will grow through that experience. We will continue to have those experiences of what it is that we have seen as far as our perspective is. So from a very young age, we will have certain authority figures within our life that, dependent upon their perspective of what it is that they have learned, what it is that they have experienced, will put that experience upon us. And it goes even deeper than that. It goes back into the DNA goes back within to the womb. It goes within the DNA of the mother and the father as well, of what you are bringing into this world with you. And there will be certain imprints that you will be born with. And as you are born with those imprints, you will also have those experiences taught to you, and that energy within your environment for the entire time that you are growing, that you are growing up, that you are learning, and that energy will be around you constantly as your parents that have experienced that. And that energy will be born within your DNA, but even more than that, it will be dropped within your aura. And as that energy is dropped within your aura, you will attract those experiences to yourself as well. So you will find within your line of DNA that you will have similar experiences possibly to what your mother has had or your father has had. You will find within your familial line that experiences will be very similar, or diseases or sicknesses or things like that will run within the familial line due to the DNA, but also due to the energy that is placed within your aura from your parents. And you will see this within, even for example, an adoption. Someone that is adopted out will still have those familial traits within their DNA, but they will also have the imprint of the traits of the adoptive parents as well, because of the energy that is exchanged within them, within that relationship. There are many things that we do not understand here upon this planet, and there are many things that we do not understand with purpose, for it is not for us to understand. It is simply for us to be able to experience what we are here experiencing, rather than questioning, to trust, and yet to question. Everything is a paradox within this life. We are told that there is no such thing as duality, that duality is what creates separation, and yet without duality we do not experience those emotional components that sit on either end of the scale. We are told we do not have joy without sadness. We do not have health without sickness. We are told to focus on the positive in order to see the positive, and we are told that everything is one. It is a paradox, and we must understand that we are here to experience it this way. Everything is light, everything is love. However, there are different levels, and we are here to experience all levels of this. Okay, so that was a channeling as well. So let's see. Okay. My Dragon Collective is just currently speaking with me now, and they're wanting to bring in the Doom imprint, and the Doom imprint has been coming up for me now. I have seen it for a while. I've also had the persecution wound that has come forward as well, where we are sitting in that fear. And of course, all of this is perspective as well, which is part of that duality. And we have been working on that duality. And if we look at the Merkaba talks about the blending of the masculine and the feminine, but it is the duality of the masculine and the feminine. We also, and I spoke about this a while ago in one of my readings, and I think it's called the anti-cursal. I'll put a picture here if I think. Excuse me, that's deep healing that's coming with that. Pardon me. And it is about the unity. So we are now moving into the unity of beginning to understand these paradoxes. Okay? To understand that everything is light, but yet we experience all things as duality, as both. So it's, and it is simply a knowing. It is simply a knowing. We do not have explanation for everything other than we are here to experience it in order to understand it. We cannot properly understand it if we do not experience it as such, as duality. Okay. They're also bringing that we can never be separated, because with separation we would not exist if we were separate. We are never separate. It is an illusion that we are separate. Okay. Creation is very complicated. Life is very complicated and very simple. It is both. Everything is a paradox. Just as you have heard say that we are everything and nothing. Equal and exact opposites exist here and must exist here in order for us to be able to experience this physical existence. Okay, sweet souls, I think that is what they are bringing as far as a channel today. They're telling me I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to speak about some of the imprints that we have. I am also in the process of doing a healing through light codes and light languages with the Lyrans and the dragons. With this Leo moon that is coming up, the Lyrans step forward for me, and I have that heritage within me as well. And of course the dragons are always with me. So both of them have come together to really combine their energies, and it feels really powerful already, even though I haven't put it together. I have done some of the channeling, and I am doing the channeling within the quiet times here, which sometimes it's difficult to find the quiet times here. But today, thank you, Divine, for bringing us this beautiful quiet space for me to be able to channel in and to be able to bring this beautiful message to you that life is a paradox, and we simply must accept and trust. We must move into that state of surrender in order for us to be able to move into that higher vibration, in order for us to move away from more of this energy that we call duality, and move more into the higher aspect of love, because it is all love. It is all love. Okay, beautiful divine beings. Awikanamash kanai. Awikanamash kanai. Ikanama kanai. Tora sis kanai. Ninaish kana. Ninaish kana. Narharanamash kura. Kuratish kana. Ki nama. Ida. 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 Ish kana. Ikchana. Torakish kana. Tosh. Toshanikanama. Ro. Krikada. All right, beautiful souls. Until next time, please remember to let love be your guide.